Hello and welcome to yoga. I'm Joanne. Let's get started in a comfortable seated posture. So I like to use a prop to sit up on to elevate my hips just so it's more comfortable to sit up and I have lots of space in the front of my thighs and I'm not way up here. So I encourage you to do that. If you need a little prop, sit up on anything you've got handy. And then I remove the flesh a little bit out from under my sitting bones so I can feel that groundedness. And from that little tripod that we've just created, we're going to find length all the way up through the spine. So let's squeeze our shoulders up by the ears just briefly, create a little tension, and then pull them down the back and open your chest. And then you might tag a little weight into the elbows just to keep the shoulders down away from the ears. And then retract your chin just a tiny bit so your head is right above the spine. So you're not supporting the weight with the neck muscles, but more skeletal support. And once you find that position nice and tall and open, effortless, it's a little easy to sit this way, it should be easy. So if it's difficult, see if you can find an easier position to sit in. You might need a chair. Or a prop. It should be pretty easy. And then you're going to just let the eyes gently close. And you might part your lips to relax your jaw if you tend to hold tension in the jaw. And begin to tune in to your breathing. So allowing your attention to follow the breath. If you get distracted, you just gently come back to your breath. And at the beginning of our practice, it's nice to just sort of take a little inventory and notice sensations or areas that might feel tight or tense in the body. It's also nice to check in with your mood, your energy level, just where you are today. One more invitation, you might set an intention or a dedication for your practice. And I've got my screen open, so you might hear some birds. In addition to the bird clock, you might hear some outside birds. So just kind of be open to the sounds of the room you're in. Once you've anchored your intention, your dedication into your subconscious mind, just come back to the breath, observing the breath as it moves in and out of the nose, through the body. So just a reminder, we always want to breathe into our belly. So the breath begins in the abdomen, so we puff the belly out on the inhale. The breath will move the ribs out to the sides, widening our diaphragm or widening our rib cage, and finally to the chest, causing your collarbone to elevate just slightly. So a nice big three-dimensional wave with the breath in the body. On the exhale, we reverse the wave as you breathe out through your nose. So let's take a few breaths like that together. Just let the eyes close. Filling completely from the belly. And exhaling completely through the nose. Gently squeeze the navel toward the spine at the bottom of your exhale. And with each inhale, think about growing, expanding, creating more space in the body through the joints and the entire body. And with each exhale, just softening around that space, letting go of any tension, any thoughts, anything you don't need. Just let it go with each out breath. So breathing in and out in that way. As a little gentle reminder, hopefully everybody knows this, but if you're newer to the practice, definitely give yourself a break anytime in the practice if you need one. And if anything is uncomfortable or painful, then you don't want to do that. So you want to check in with yourself and understanding the difference between pain and a little bit of stress on the body. So not working in pain, but you can kind of, go to your edge a little bit, but don't move past your edge. Let's take a couple more breath cycles here again. Think about expansion as you inhale, opening up everything in the body. And letting go and softening with the exhale. One more deep breath. And let's use our exhale to just bow the chin to the chest. Feeling that nice release through the back of your neck. And then slowly, gently rock one ear toward the shoulder. So we're going to take it nice and slow. Exhale, forward, inhale, open. Be gentle with yourself. Don't push yourself too hard. So yoga is meant to be not a no pain, no gain proposition. So again, if anything's painful, don't do it. So let's continue to breathe. Exhaling forward, inhale, open, the ear toward the shoulder. So important to keep the breath open and moving throughout your practice. Great, let's start from chin to chest. Inhale, take your ear toward your shoulder. Sit up nice and tall, lift the chest. Walk your opposite hand out to the side. My ear is over my right shoulder, and so my left arm is extended. So opposite arm toward, away from the ear. And then we're just gonna rotate. So you can bring your hand to a block if that's better, or the floor. And then look down over this same shoulder that the ear is over. Look over toward the floor, and then inhale, look up on the diagonal toward the sky of the other arm. So we're rotating, exhale down, inhale up. You can always play with the angle. So you want to find your sweet spot. So wherever you're feeling nice stretch and release, inhale, open, look up. And notice I'm rotating my head. I'm not flexing and extending, just rotating. And breathing as you move to create lots of space, bringing energy and blood flow into that neck, the front and the back. One more time, up and down. Great, bring your head toward the screen. We're gonna drop the chin to the chest, bring that extended arm in. Inhale to the second side. Again, send the other arm out. Check your posture, lifting up. And just from here, you should feel energy into your arm, a little stretch and opening in the whole entire arm all the way toward your fingers. So find that position and then begin to rotate the head. Exhale, look down. Inhale up toward the extended arm side, feeling. And again, playing with the angle just a bit, find your sweet spot, keep the breath nice and deep. We're moving mindfully with intention. If you have any nerve pain or anything like that, don't do this, or find a place where it doesn't activate that pain. Good, let's take another round or two, inhaling up and exhaling down. Great, and then you're gonna bring the nose toward the screen, drop the chin forward, take that arm in, sit upright, and then bring the hands by your hips, so drop the shoulders even further. Sit up tall, retract your chin, and just see how that feels. Deep breath in, and then we're going to do a little lateral flexion. So we're going to bring the ear to the shoulder, so you're just bending to the side. And you're thinking about this opposite shoulder pulling down. Good, inhale up, exhale to the other side. Again, the shoulder anchors, goes down. One more time, each side, inhale and exhale. Good, inhale and exhale. Good, we'll take the head upright. And then we're gonna shrug the shoulders, little tension, squeeze them up, and then pull the shoulder blades down the back. Twice more, squeeze up, and squeeze back and down. One more time. Deep breath. Good, relax the shoulders. And then we're gonna inhale, take one arm up, reach up tall, soften the shoulder, walk the other hand out and reach over. Stretching the side body, keep your hips grounded. So I'm pulling my rib cage away from me as I reach in the opposite direction. So we're getting lots of open space. You might even turn the chest up a little bit. Open the elbow toward the sky. Take a deep breath in. Good, exhale, we're gonna spill forward. So you're gonna turn your torso toward the floor and reach out long in front of you as far as you can, and then come up on to the other side. So this bottom arm is not locked, it's nice and relaxed and soft. And then top arm, elbow reaches up, rib cage pulls away, breathe in. Good, and then we'll work with the breath a little bit. So let's spill forward again, turn the torso down, reach out and across, inhale, lift. And now I'm gonna have you flow with your breath. Exhale, reach out, inhale, lift. Great, exhale, reach and lift. So this is getting into the side body and your hips a little bit as you reach forward, keep the hips grounded, inhale, lift. Good, one more time. And lift. Good, let's take it up tall. Back upright. Sitting up tall, we're gonna inhale, sweep the arms up. You might reach behind you to stretch your chest a little bit. And we're gonna do a nice easy twist. So you're gonna exhale, one arm forward, one arm back. And then this front arm can come across the thigh if you'd like. We're maintaining a nice tall posture, fingers touch down behind you and look over your back shoulder. From here, take a deep breath into your ribs and your torso. Giving our internal organs a little massage. My hips are nice and grounded. Go ahead, release back to center. So we really twist from the navel up. Inhale, lift. Good, exhale, split, front and back the other direction. Arm can come across. Fingers touch down, think length, and then twist. Deep breath in your twist. Good, slowly release back to center. Excellent, let's come into tabletop onto our hands and knees. I'm gonna make a cushion for my knees. And then for your hands, you can take your hands flat and open, brighten your fingers as wide apart as you can. If this is uncomfortable for your wrists, you're welcome to take fists as well. So whatever works for you. I'm gonna brighten my fingers on the mat, activate my feet and my fingers, and press the mat away from me. I'm opening the inside of my elbow toward the front of the mat. Super important here. Soften the elbow just a little bit so it's not locked. And then let's take some cat-cows from here. So we're gonna inhale with intention in the hands and feet here. So drop your belly, send your tail and crown to opposite corners, think length. As you breathe in, and as you exhale, you're gonna round, turn the head and tailbone to the floor, press up. And then you'll let your breath kind of guide your movements. Inhale as you open, create space. Exhale as you round, press the spine up. Good, a couple more times. Nice deep breath. We'll meet back in our tabletop position, nice and sturdy. And then we're gonna thread the needle. So you're gonna inhale, take one arm all the way open to the sky. You might even open your chest a bit. As you exhale, you're gonna come down between the hand and the knee and come all the way to your cheek. So you really wanna release here. Option is to stay here if this feels really good. If you have a super tight shoulder blade, you might stay here and just melt into this. And if you wanna move a bit more, you'll inhale, reach, getting a little more into the spine here, and exhale, come down. So always your practice to do what feels best for you in the moment. So listen to your body. You might feel better moving. You might want to be more static. Let's take one more on this side. Good, and then we're gonna slowly come back to our tabletop and we'll switch sides. So inhale, sweep open. Open the chest, exhale, thread the needle. If you're staying static, you're breathing deeply. Using that exhale to just keep melting into the floor. And one more time. Great, unwind yourself back to your tabletop position. Then we're gonna take our knees behind our hip points just a touch. Hands are under my shoulders still. And then if you're super tight, you might widen your hands just a tiny bit, up to you. So wherever you are, we're gonna bend at the elbow and you're gonna plant your chest between your hands. You're gonna keep your hips in the air and hover down. Upward S pose. And then let's let the legs slide down to the floor. So the tops of the feet come down, your hips lower. And I'm gonna pull my heart forward and draw my shoulder blades back onto my back. Elbows are close. And breathe in, looking out in front of me. So I'm not looking up and wrenching my neck. My neck is long. Breathe into your belly. Great, one more breath. In our low cobra. Good, release the chest and chin. Good, and then tuck your toes, pushing up through tabletop. And then slowly we're gonna peel up to downward dog. So tuck the toes under. Again, hands shoulder width apart inside of the elbows forward. And then lift your hips up. Drop your head between your arms and pedal your feet. Walk out your dog. Just starting to open the hamstrings and calves a bit, so take your time. Walking it out, pedal the feet. Good, and then let's walk ourselves up to the front of the mat. We'll come into a standing forward fold position. So you want to measure about 2 fists between the feet, bend the knees as much as you need, hands touch down, forehead tucks. Just see where you are. You might be very bent, that's fine. It's good to take note of where you are when you start in your forward fold. Let's grab opposite elbows. We're going to let the upper body hang and be passive. And we're just going to gently sway like a pendulum side to side. Keep breathing. My abdomen is resting on my thighs. My legs are not straight. Depends how flexible you are, so lift your body. Letting go of tension. You might shake the head a little bit. And then let's relax the arms, let go of the elbows, and just hang like a rag doll. Maybe shake the head. Tuck your tailbone, and as you're ready, you're going to slowly peel up. Roll one vertebra up at a time. Upper body is passive and heavy as you unfurl yourself to the top of the mat. When you get to the top, shrug your shoulders and open your chest. We'll meet in mountain pose. So we're going to fan the hands forward, palms up forward. Find even weight on your feet, on all four corners of both feet. Engage your core a little bit, tuck your tailbone. Nice and tall. Great. Chin parallel to the floor in our mountain pose. Let's take a deep breath in and out here. Great. With soft knees, we're going to reach the arms behind us. Keep your torso tall. Lift, stretch the chest. Touch hands, and then pull the hands behind you. And then soften your knees and hinge from your hip as you lengthen back down to forward fold. Tuck your forehead to your shins. On your inhale, you're going to come into flat back, lengthen your spine halfway to the mat. And then exhale, fold. Hands will plant next to your feet. You're going to take a giant step back with your right leg or left leg, either side, doesn't matter. Drop the back knee, uncurl the toes. I want you to find a scissor action with the legs so you feel like this front foot is pulling back and this back foot is pulling forward to give you some lift and support through the midline. Reach the arms up, crescent lunge. Soften your shoulders. Getting a nice stretch here in that front back hip flexor. Deep breath. Notice I'm not dumping into my back here. Tuck your tailbone and lift. Good, and then we're gonna fan our hands forward as if you're painting a wall and lower the arms down next to your front foot. Tuck your back toes under, lift the back knee. Take both hips in the sky, high up, and then step your left foot back to meet the right in downward dog. As you inhale, we're gonna float ourselves into plank pose. So using the muscles around the bone, I'm just lowering my hips in line with my shoulders. Nice and firm, pressing through the heels. Exhale, drop the knees, the chest, and the chin, awkward ups. Slide yourself down into your cobra, open the chest, lift. Feet are glued. One more breath. Good, release the chin and chest. Tuck your toes. You can come through tabletop or straight back to your downward dog. Good, and then from here, so whichever leg went back, if you stepped back with your right leg with me on the first side, you're gonna bend your knees and gaze forward and step your right leg forward. So we're switching sides, so make sure the other leg is back. Now drop the back knee and uncurl the toes. Again, find that scissoring for the legs to lift, adding the arms. My shoulders are soft, my fingers are extended. Good, my tailbone's a little bit tucked and I'm lifting up. Deep breath. So the back leg can be forward or back depending on flexibility. That hip flexor, breathe in. And then again, fan your hands forward and paint a wall coming down with your hands, frame that front foot. Tuck your back toes under and we're gonna come up to forward bend. So step it up and fold here. Good, roll yourself up, nice and slow. your tailbone, stack your vertebra, open the chest. Meet in our mountain pose, fan the hands forward. Excellent. Reach back behind you, inhale, lift. Good. Exhale, soften the knees, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale as you halfway lift, open your chest. And exhale, bow. Hands will come next to your foot again, next to your feet. Step the right leg back. And then this time we're going to keep that knee lifted. You're going to soften your back knee. So this will be a little bit of a challenge, which is a little fun. Okay, so soften that back knee and then come up. So a little bit of balance here. We're going to try to keep our pelvis neutral. My back leg is soft. My knee is above my front heel. My hips are square. Add the arms. Find your balance. Connect to your breath. Now, if you have room, try to straighten through the heel without moving your pelvis. So keep your pelvis straight and then try to straighten. You might not be able to. Deeper stretch here for that hip flexor. So if it has to stay bent, that's fine. Back to the breath. One more breath here. Great, and then slowly pivot your back foot down and open the arms wide for warrior two stance. So a little challenge there for the balance. Now my back foot is anchored into the floor, perpendicular to my front heel. Soft shoulders, send the arms nice and long, fingers extend. You're going to gaze to the front leg side. Good, connect to the breath. Let's breathe in. And you're going to bend that front arm, take it to your front thigh. Take that top arm up and over toward the floor, palm to the floor. And then think if you can, see if you can make a straight line from your fingers all the way down your side body to the outer edge of your back foot. So this hip is not lifted like this, right? We're here. See if you can do that. Open the chest. Maybe turn the chest, wind it a little toward the ceiling. Take a breath. Nice and firm in both feet. Great, you're going to take this top arm and turn it to the sky and see if you can paint the ceiling now. So inhale, lift, and come back up to your warrior two. Gaze to the front hand, take a deep breath in. We're going to exhale, cartwheel your hands down to frame the foot. Turn the back heel up, lift your hips, step back, downward dog. Nice work. Pedal the feet out if you want. And let's take a little flow here. So you're going to inhale, plank position, shoulders align over wrists. Hips lower with the shoulders. Breathe in, exhale, drop the knees, the chest, and the chin. Slide the legs down, inhale, low cobra. And then from here, we're going to bring the elbows under the shoulders to come into Sphinx Pose. So keep your arms parallel. My elbows are now under my shoulders, and I'm pressing into my forearms to lift up out of my neck and shoulders. If this is too much, you can take your elbows a little wider. I don't want you to have any pinching in your lower back. So the tops of my feet are on the floor, and I'm turning my tailbone toward my heels to elongate my lower back. If it's too much, you can come down a little bit. So if it hurts, don't do it. But this should feel really great. Pulling the arms forward, lifting up, looking down, the neck stays long. Take one more breath here. Great, we're gonna bring the hands back down under your shoulders. So lower the chest and the chin. Tuck your toes, coming through tabletop or straight back to your downward dog. Meeting in down dog. And then again, we're gonna switch sides from here. So bend your knees, gaze forward, same leg that step back, we'll step forward. You're always welcome to pull the leg through if it doesn't step all the way through, that's fine. Good. Soften bend that back knee and then lift up. Find your balance, knee over front heel, pelvis neutral, back leg a little bent, adding the arms. Find your balance, ground your shoulders, fix your gaze, connect to your breath. Maybe if you have room, that back leg straightens a bit without moving your pelvis. Deep stretch there for that hip flexor in the back. Little balance, good. Breathe in. Exhale, pivot, open the arms, pivot the back foot down. Warrior two, stand. Switch sides. Checking your alignment. Extending the arms, soften the shoulders, gaze to the front hand. Notice my shoulders are above my hips. I'm not leaned forward. Connect to your breath, breathe in deep. Slowly bring that forearm to the thigh. Reach that top arm up and over. Palm faces the floor, see if you can find that line of energy. Maybe dial the chest open a little more to the sky. Nice. Slipping on my mat. Nice deep breath. Great. And then flip your palm up. Try to paint the ceiling. Lift yourself back up. Warrior two. Great. Deep breath in. Slowly exhale. Cartwheel your hands to frame that front foot. You're going to turn the back heel up and then step up. Forward bend. Meeting and forward fold. Good, and then as you're ready, roll it up. Nice and slow. Shrug your shoulders at the top and open the chest. Great. I'm gonna move my little blanket out of the way. I'm gonna come to the middle of the mat. So you can be wherever you want. I'm gonna have my feet about hip width apart. And I'm gonna sink into my hips. So imagine you're like sitting in a chair. You could have your feet closer together if that's comfortable. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm sitting in a chair. So my hips are really over my heels. I'm not leaning forward. If you're real tight, you might need to lean forward a bit. That's fine. But see if you can sit tall. And then we're going to sweep the arms up for chair pose. Or lightning bolt. My arms are next to my ears. And this is a great way to kind of build energy, activate our big muscles in our legs. Pull the shoulders back so that you're not here, but try to lift up and open the upper back here a bit. Great. You're going to inhale and stand tall, lift up. And as you exhale, you're going to sink down again. And another common thing that happens here is we arch our low back. Try not to do that. Keep the tailbone tucked. Inhale, lift. We're going to come up onto our toes, the balls of our feet to lift. Stand a little taller. And then exhale over the heels, sink into your chair. Beautiful. So a little balance here. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, lift. And come up onto the balls of the feet. Activating our calves and our balance. Good. Exhale, lower the heels and sink into your chair. Great. Now you're going to bring your hands to your heart from your chair pose. I'm going to bring my feet a little closer together. You can keep the hip width apart. You're going to inhale, lengthen. And as you exhale, you're just going to twist to one side. So you can just maybe open the arms. If you want to deepen your twist, you might bring the elbow outside of your thigh and press your palms to your chest. When you do that, see if you can keep your knees even. So you don't want your knees splayed out and your hips funky. See if you can stay open. You can open here. Again, you can be here whatever works. Little twist. Breathe. We want to keep our spine tall wherever we are. Great, we're gonna release, unwind, sweep the arms up, back to your chair pose. Stand tall, inhale, lift. Exhale, float the arms down by the side. Shrug your shoulders and open your chest. Great, so we're gonna do that on the other side now. So we'll do a couple more chair lifts for our calves. Let's start by just sinking in our chair. Keep hips over heels, adding the arms. Pull the arms back. Tuck your tailbone. Connect to your breath. I realize this is a lot of energy. So we're going to inhale, straighten. Start with a regular chair. Exhale, sink. We'll add the calf next time. Good. Inhale, lift. And then come up over the balls of the feet. Stretch up. Slowly lower the heels. And then sit in your chair. Nice. Good. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, lift. Up onto the balls of the feet. Balance. Keep breathing. Slowly lower the heels. And sink back into your chair. Take a breath in. Exhale, hands come to your chest, heart, thumbs to sternum. And we'll twist the other direction. So go the other way, open out, or elbow outside thigh. Lots of options. Try to keep the knees together. And breathe in your twist. One or two more breaths. Nice. Let's unwind. Reach the arms back up for chair. And inhale, stand tall. Good. Lower the arms behind you, open your chest. Great. Shrug your shoulders. Excellent. Shake out the legs a little bit. Nice. And then let's take our feet out a little wide. We're going to open the legs out so the toes, well, let's actually start with the feet parallel. So wide-legged stance. Bring your hands to your back so that you're supporting your sacrum with your hands. And your thumb is around your waist. Good. Draw the elbows back to open the chest. Keep your pelvis neutral. You're going to lift the chest up to the sky. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, hinge at the hip. Slowly lower halfway. Keep the spine long, and then you might reach to the floor, or if you have blocks, if you need blocks, you can use blocks here. Good, and then we're gonna just have a nice wide-legged forward bend here. So the idea here is to keep the spine long, so we're not rounded, but we're lengthening. Great. Take a breath. And then let's walk our hands down a little further. So now you can kind of lower the torso. You walk your hands between your feet or even behind your feet and relax your head and your torso totally. So look wide-legged forward fold. Grounding in both feet. Nice stretch here for our hamstrings. The legs can be a little bit soft. They don't have to be straight. Great. And then gently walk your hands back out under your shoulders. And now we'll open the feet toward the corners of the mat. So you're opening your hips and your feet a little wider. And then we're going to bend one leg, working on the inner thigh. You're going to walk your hands to your bent leg, keeping the other leg straight and flat. So we'll crab walk. Inhale through center. Exhale, bend the other leg and walk your hands to that side. So stretching the opposite inner thigh. Keep your glutes moving toward the back of your mat. Inhale through center, walk your hands over one over the other, and then exhale to the other side, hips stay back. Getting a nice stretch in the inner thigh here. So let's go side to side 1 or 2 more times. This is really a nice way to breathe, use your breath and your movement together, a nice way to connect that energy. I find in this series. Let's do one more. Great, come back to center. Bring your hands under your shoulders. We'll turn our feet in again. Walk them in a little closer so they're not so far apart. And then you're going to bend your knees and come into a squat. So you're going to drop your hips so you can bring your feet a little closer. And then you can always use a prop under your heels if you need one. So coming into a squat, I'm going to bring my thumbs to my sternum and drop my hips and open my chest. So I'm pulling my knees into my arms and I'm pressing my arms into my legs at the same time. If this doesn't work for you, you're welcome to skip it or just take a different posture. Don't have to do this. Let's take one more breath if you're with me. Gaze is long, neck is long. You could even use a block under your hips here if you wanted to sit on something to get this sensation of the squat without the full position. Good, and then one hand at a time comes behind you. Slowly lower your hips to the floor. Great. Coming to a comfortable seat. We're going to take both legs over to one side. So I've got my feet to the right. You might be mirroring me, so that's fine. Whatever works for you. Whichever side your feet are on, that top leg is going to cross the bottom leg. You're going to take a seated spinal twist. Lift the flesh from your sitting bones. And you can use your prop here too if you need to sit up on something, if you need a little more lift for the hips. If you're super tight, that's fine. I want this top foot to be grounded on the floor. And if that just causes you to lift up here, take this bottom leg straight out. That's usually better for guys who tend to have tighter hips. So I recommend this if you're a guy. Good, and then wherever you are, you're gonna use your hands to lift yourself up nice and tall. Same arm as the top leg is gonna go behind you. Coming right to your sacrum. So the hand is like a lever, you're opening the shoulder back. We're gonna inhale the other arm straight up. And then twisting from the navel up, you're gonna exhale, turn, 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 and then find the arm position that's best for you. So one is to wrap and hold. Another is to bring the elbow outside of the thigh. The most advanced is to bind this behind the back, which I can't do right now. So don't worry, but if that's part of your practice, you can bind the pose. So you're gonna look back over your back shoulder, over the chest. Again, think length before twist. So breathe length into your spine. Both of your hips should be on the ground. And as you breathe in, it'll feel a little constricted, but that's good. Again, we're massaging our internal organs with our breath, our diaphragm. Breathe in, grow tall. Exhale, gently twist. One more breath here. So great for our internal organs, digestion, elimination, and all of that. I lied, we're taking one more breath on this side. Great. Release yourself, unwind your arms wherever you are, and just walk yourself to the other side, a little counter stretch in the other direction. Come back to center. Take your legs out, give them a little shake. And then take them to the other side. Good, and then we'll cross again. One on top of the other, check your sitting bones, extend that bottom leg if you need to. Same arm as the top leg comes right behind you to open your chest. Inhale, the other arm reaches up nice and tall. Deep breath in, keep that shoulder relaxed. Exhale, twist from the navel and find the arm position on this side that is best for you. It might be different than the other side. Looking over your back shoulder. Inhale, lengthen to your spine. Exhale as you twist a little deeper. Keep breathing in that way. Inhale up. Exhale, relax. And I am going to shut my door because somebody's relaxing, so I'll be right back. That might be too much of a distraction. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. And let's release from our twist, unwind. Walk your hands gently to the other side, little counter stretch. Great, coming back to center. Good, lifting the flesh. And then I'm gonna have us do one more hip opener from our seated position. Sorry for the extraneous noise. So we're gonna try Firelog pose. This is a pretty difficult pose, so don't worry too much about it if it feels or looks much different than mine. I'm pretty flexible in my hips, so what you want to do for this pose is from whichever leg is on the bottom, you're going to have this leg. We don't want it open an angle here behind us. We want this leg to be straight out from our hip bone, right? And then we want the shin parallel. So we're creating right angles. We're trying to create right angles. So I'm going to flex this bottom foot. And then my shin is aligned with the front of my mat. My femur bone is aligned with the edge of my mat. You're going to take the other leg on top and stack it. Hence where the name comes from, Firelog. But we want this ankle off the leg. So we don't want to sickle our ankle, basically. We don't want to do that. But let your foot hang off the bottom leg. And I'm stacking my shins. So most people, this is not going to look like this. You might be like way up here because you're tight, and that's totally fine. So wherever you are, make sure your hips are grounded. And then again, this femur bone parallel to the edge of that mat, shin stacked on top. And it may not look like this, and that's okay. And if it's too much, too tight, you don't have to do this. But you can stay here. You can bring your hands behind you and just lift your chest. Give yourself a little more stretch this way. Or if you want a little more, you can walk your hands forward and fold over the legs. That's going to make it a little more intense. Wherever you are, I want you to make sure that you can breathe freely so that you're not holding the breath if it's too tight or what have you. So just make sure you can breathe at a regular pace. And if you can't, then back out a little bit. So we'll take another couple breaths here, just relaxing into your Firelog pose to stretch the hips. Nice and slowly, you'll come up out of the pose. So wherever you are, let's uncross the legs, shake them out in the front a little bit. Good, and then we'll switch sides. So again, parallel to the edge, parallel to the front. Flex that foot. Other leg comes on top, my ankle, again, my foot hangs off the top leg. So this leg, parallel, parallel. We're creating lots of right angles. You might start here. And notice how it feels different one side to the other. Usually one hip is a little more tight than the other. That's very common. And then just relax wherever you want to be in the pose. So up to you. And if you can't get it totally stacked, that's okay. Just do the best you can with it. Keep breathing nice and deep. Slowly and gently walk yourself up out of the pose. Good. Stretch your legs out and just shake it out a little bit. Excellent. I'm going to come to the long edge of my mat. We're going to come down to the floor. So I'm going to lift the flesh from my sitting bones. And I'm going to glue my heels to the floor. So I'm going to place my hands on my legs and I'm going to roll myself down one vertebra at a time. So I'm really using my core strength to lower myself, keeping my heels down. Come all the way to the back. Great. Once you get to the back, just take a nice deep breath in through your nose. We're going to sigh it out loud through the mouth. So deep breath in. Open your mouth and sigh it out. Letting go of any tension in the body. And then I want you to check in with yourself. So let's actually do one more little stretch. We're going to bring the right knee into the chest, squeeze it in. You might make some circles with the big toe. You might go in both directions. Just stretching the lower back out a little bit here. Squeeze that knee in. Deep breath into your belly. Good. Release that leg down. As you take the other leg in, squeeze the knee in. Circles with the big toe. In both directions. Good. And release that leg out. And then check in with your back. If you have any tension at all, you're going to bend your knees, feet come to the floor, a mat width apart, and then let the knees fall to the center. Give any back tension whatsoever. And if your back feels good, you might stretch the legs all the way out. Feet also mat width apart here, toes flop out to the sides, just letting go. And then we're going to bring our palms to face the sky. I'm going to tuck my shoulder blades under my chest to open the heart a little bit. Elbows are soft. Fingers relaxing and curling toward the palm. And last thing to check for your posture is make sure the head is relaxed and straight on the floor. If your chin is lifted and the back of your neck is shortened or crunched, you'll want to place a prop under your head so that your neck can be neutral. There's a natural curve in the neck away from the floor. That's normal, but we don't want the chin lifted. If you're real tight, you might just need a little support there. So make sure you're nice and neutral in your neck. If I open my eyes, they're looking straight up to the ceiling. Then close your eyes. And part your lips so your jaw is soft. Maybe rock your head gently side to side. Massaging the back of the head a little bit. And then bring your head back to center and stillness. And allow your eyes to gently close. Again, the lips are slightly apart so the jaw is relaxed. Return your awareness to your breath. It moves in and out of the nose. Nice nice and freely. And relax your entire body completely. So this is the most important posture of yoga. It helps us to assimilate all the things that we did in our practice. So it's so important, even if it's just a minute, to just lie here and do nothing. Relax your entire body. So you're going to stay on the floor. Stay there. And with each breath, just sinking into the mat a little deeper. So if you scan your body and find any areas that might feel tight or tense still, I want you to think about surrounding that tension with your breath as you inhale. And with your exhale, just imagine melting that tension away from the body and letting it go with the out breath. Let the mat and the earth just absorb that tension with each out breath. So we can always continue to let go a little bit more with each out breath. Relax, relax, relax. Distracted by sound or thoughts. Just bring your awareness back to the breath and relax. And very slowly, just wiggle your fingers and toes. As you bring awareness back into the body, you might gently rock your head a little side to side again. And slowly bending your knees to place your feet on the floor. If they're not already there, you're going to roll onto the right side of your body to a fetal position for a moment. And just take a moment here to notice any changes between now and the beginning of practice. And recall if you set an intention or dedication for your practice today. And then as you're ready, you'll slowly use your left hand to push yourself back up to a comfortable seated posture. So using your prop if you need, coming into easy pose, sitting nice and tall. And let's take the arms back, inhale, lift, take a deep breath in, gather some good energy, seal your hands at the top, and bring them down to your heart. And bow to yourself with gratitude for practicing today. We'll bow to each other. Namaste.